MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell has come forward for the first time since the Cyber Symposium. He's ready to talk. He did an exclusive interview with his own network where he described the famous Cyber Symposium attack in great detail.
It was a move that goes under your arm. By the way, we're going to put the guy's picture up a little later here.
That picture
we do have his picture. It's a little blurry from the camera, but we are going to put his picture up.
Mike really thinks he was attacked by some sort of ninja. Plus, I'm in possession of more secret cam footage, and I've got new tweets from Cyber Symposium hero and actual expert Rob Graham. Remember Rob, the guy, the expert on PCAPS that went to see the PCAPS that Mike never showed anyone? Rob was also the guy there wearing a mask, something Lindell actually complained about. And I gotta say, even though Donald Trump never promoted masks, in fact did the opposite, if you want to stay at a Trump property, you have to wear one. If you want to work at a Trump property, you have to wear one. So if you are staying at a Trump hotel, you need to wear a mask and rethink your life choices. Sheridan, Sioux Falls. I'm telling you, people are going to visit this like the Dakota building in New York. Elton John's going to have to write a song. Mike really thinks he was attacked by some sort of ninja, and all the right-wing chatter on the internet is all about this finishing move that Mike describes. These are the same people that wear UFC shirts to weddings. And yet in all the years of UFC, never seen someone tap out from a finger under the armpit poke. It's where you tickle people, not where you take down Tom Selleck's slow cousin in the lobby of a Sheraton. MAGA tears. Mike Lindell gets the energy to face his fears, recount the attack at the lobby of the Sheraton Sioux Falls.
I went out to eat, Kendra and I did, with two other couples, and we got back to the hotel about 11:30 to the Sheraton in South Dakota. And we got there, and there was no doubt that this attack occurred. This attack, it was probably in my life, if you've read my book, I've had swords to my throat, that this was even more fearful. I never had anything like this. That was one of the most scariest men and scariest things that I've ever had to go through there, because I knew it was for keeps, that these guys stop at nothing.
And I gotta say, I find it kind of amusing that MAGA thinks you can poke someone under the arm and cause severe damage, but a cop kneeling on a neck for over 9 minutes wouldn't do a thing.
I got upstairs shaken, invisibly shaken, and I had just got one of the most horrific feelings I've ever had. When they checked it out, they had to make sure that he didn't puncture me with a needle.
Sherlock Holmes is over him looking for the dot. Well, we know he's not going to find a needle mark on his arm because Mike won't get vaccinated because he's a moron.
It was a move that goes under your arm. By the way, we're going to put the guy's picture up a little later here.
That picture
we do have his picture. It's a little blurry from the camera, but we are going to put his picture up. We'll put his picture up on the screen. We've got his picture.
That's an actual ninja.
We've got his picture.
Chuck Norris?
We've got his picture.
That's the master from Kill Bill with that pressure point body tic-tac-toe. This could be real. Mike repeatedly said he would put the picture up. At the time of making this, he has not. I went through the entire live stream. No picture. But a congressional candidate did. Yes, this is Jeffrey Bongiorno for U.S. Congress, and he has tweeted, I took both pictures at the time Lindell claimed he was attacked. Detective Joffer of Sioux Falls PD can verify. I know the person in the pic with Lindell. The second person was the guy in the blue shirt to get a selfie. I took his pic on his phone. Lindell went straight in the elevator with the woman who did morning prayer and is seen behind Lindell. She is the scariest thing in this picture. So what this guy's saying is this fella walking away, kind of giggling, was the one who got the picture with Mike. It pains me to do this, but I support law enforcement. In my opinion, this is a nothing burger. The elevators are glass, and witnesses saw Lindell go up to the 6th floor.
I got up to my room, and now I'm so shaken. This thing has been compromised. We think that they're going to put a poison pill into the data. I said, I do not want you going over there in the morning. It's too dangerous, and do not send any more data.
By the way, there's no such thing as a poison pill in packet captures. I mean, it's hard to debunk this claim specifically because Lindell's people won't give straight answers by what they mean by poison pill, but it's not a previously known concept. Also, people can't poison data that you already have. Sure, copies can be manipulated, but not your originals that I presume you have on backup tapes.
There's 2 other people that have that key. We have copies of copies and then the original.
If Mike has all these copies, then the poison pill thing was obviously bucket of unicorn wank. Mike and Brannon spent a lot of time listening to this recorded interview with Josh Merritt, who they are trying to distance themselves from. But things get kind of weird on this call. I did have my George Soros pinhole Chinese camera here, so it gave us some help.
The grasp of all of the information was that they were slowing down the internet so they couldn't download it fast enough to be able to look through it all.
Wow. Huh.
Because the person who controlled the hard drive that was sharing the information for all the people in the breakout rooms was the same guy.
But the reason I put that in there is because Hursty, I also have an article here.
We tested the internet by going to, speedtest.net multiple times.
We use speed test. Mike and Brannon now genuinely feel vindicated because a self-proclaimed non-biased guy on TikTok did a 1-minute review from a tech expert of the symposium, and it's a video that's being mocked by actual experts.
Well, and thanks. And this is the support I'm getting around the country. And I just want, one of the reasons I want to come on tonight, I don't want anyone to think that I held anything back that wasn't on purpose.
This is the kind of support we're getting around the country. Look at his TikTok feed. He's non-biased. He's not brainwashed. He would do it for a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't matter. This is about China.
Remember, the media put out that this Josh Merritt was the leader of my red team, like he was leading the symposium. I didn't know this guy from the man on the moon. This guy came in to be part of this team. He wasn't the leader. Can you say it's not from the 2020 election? Yeah, but where did it come from? Where's your PCAP? Where's this? I mean, this guy scared me.
Josh, with your pesky questions that the red team is supposed to ask, that's them doing their job. It's my emotional support Trump doll, and I give them to people. They can talk to the Don doll. They can have fun, adjusting the diaper.
We were attacked. We had, by the way, for the whole event, we had 162 million attacks on Frank's speech. 162 million. By the way, we can show within forensics, we have 162 million attacks that day.
Do we buy this, or is it bucket of unicorn wank?
Then, when I got some on January 9th, and it's kind of out of the bag, I got it from Mary Fanning and you, Brannon, calling up the very first piece I ever seen.
And just to, so the audience knows why I called you was
Brannon
because
came to
I had
him
been
with the
briefed
information
on this for weeks and weeks, and I said I know one guy that has a platform, a voice, and the finances to hire a team to verify information. And
That's
you
right.
took it from there, and you did your due diligence.
Right.
This is huge. Brannon just was outed as the puppet master of this all. He got the information originally. He took it to Lindell. Lindell bankrolled everything, including Frank's speech, Lindell TV, which is where Brannon has the job as the permanent host now. Fascinating. Among Lindell's claims is that PCAPS are perfect, that you can't change either the contents or the time. This is a packet from a China IP address to a main IP address on November 3rd, 2020, showing what appears to be some sort of attack flipping votes. Oh look, you can change the core time on your computer. In case you missed the spoof.pcap or the facts votes were flipped in the opposite direction, or the obviously lunacy of this, it's a spoofed packet and not real.
And this was all a setup. This was a setup to attack me, to take down my credibility.
Magateers. You made a ramshackle website that you said would be like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and would replace them. You hold bizarre rallies in corn palaces. You held a cyber symposium to try and prove that the election was hacked by China. You lost all credibility a long time ago. Before any of this nonsense, back when you lost your rating at the BBB or were sued for your false medical claims, you have no credibility. It's gone.
When this gets to the Supreme Court, it's going to be 9-0 because this evidence is non-negotiable, it is non-subjective, and our country was attacked by China, and they're going to pull this election down.
MAGA tears. I would respond to you, but you're not worth the time. MAGA tears. You're another fool. Shame on you for not wanting to know. MAGA tears. China Biden has you brainwashed. MAGA tears. This is going to age like milk left out in summer. MAGA tears. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please rate, comment, subscribe, and check me out on Spotify. I am a stand-up comedian. I have 3 albums there. You can stream them for free. That's a pretty sweet deal. If you want to have a friend or colleague roasted or congratulated, you can book me on Cameo. If you're out, be kind to each other, distance when you can, wear a mask if they ask you. Just be cool. Life's short. Have fun, be kind, take care.